Welcome you all to the new session of computer graphics. So this is a continuation which deals with various built-in functions to be used in graphics program. In the previous session we learned how to write the basic structure of a graphics program, and then we familiarized with the computer screen divisions and carefully observed which value increases and which value decreases when we move in various directions. Then in the built-in functions section we learned about the line function, how to use the circle function, we learned the peculiarity of rectangle functions, and we learned the difference of put pixel and get pixel functions. So in this session we are going to learn about a few more functions which will help you to be familiarized with some important primitives like ellipse, arc, and some other functions which can be used to make your graphics program look much better. So let's begin. First we are going to learn about an ellipse function. Ellipse function is used to draw an ellipse. It uses 6 arguments. They are x, y, st angle, end angle, x radius, and y radius. We know that when we draw an ellipse, just as a circle, ellipse is also having a center point. So the first 2 arguments x and y corresponds to the center of the ellipse. Now let me move on to x radius and y radius. We all know that every circle has only one radius, but when we talk about an ellipse, ellipse has 2 radius. One radius is along the horizontal direction, that is in the x direction. It is known as x radius. And one radius is along the vertical direction, that is along the y direction, known as y radius. So every ellipse has 2 radius, one along the x-axis and one along the y-axis. So first 2 arguments together gives you the center of the ellipse, and the last 2 arguments gives you the details regarding the 2 radiuses of the ellipse. Now move on to the 2 arguments st angle and end angle. These are start angle and end angle. Suppose I want to draw a complete ellipse. To draw a complete ellipse, I must specify from which point my ellipse starts and at which point my ellipse stops. If I am drawing like this is not a complete ellipse. This ellipse begins at this position and ends at this position, whereas it is a complete ellipse. That means the starting point of the ellipse and the ending point of the ellipse are same. So in this way we need to specify where an ellipse starts and at which position an ellipse ends. To specify these 2 parameters we use start angle and end angle. Clear? Now let me explain how you can give it. This is the representation of angles. This position represents a 0 degree. This position represents a 0 degree. When we move in this fashion, that means we are moving in a clockwise direction, and from this position when we move in a clockwise direction and reach at this position, this indicates a 90 degree movement. From this, if I again travel and reach at this position indicates a 180 degree rotation. From this position, if I am again traveling to this position and now I am at 270 degrees, and from 270 if I am again moving back and reaching the starting point, I have traveled 360 degrees now. In this way, if I want a complete ellipse, I must specify that start from 0 degree and end at 360 degree, because this is the position where 0 degree begins and this is the same position which indicates 360 degree. So if I am drawing an ellipse which starts at this point and ends at this point, that means this is 0 degree and this is 90 degree. Clear? See, this is 0 degree and this is 90 degree. That means if I am drawing an ellipse like this, this is an ellipse whose start angle is at 0 degree and end angle is at 90 degree. But instead of stopping at this position, if I am continuing like this and then I stop, then I can say the start angle of the ellipse is at 0 degree and the end angle of the ellipse is at 180 degree. If I am proceeding in this fashion and stopped at this position, then I can say started at 0 degree and ended at 270 degree. But if I am completing it, and then I can say the start angle is at 0 degree and the end angle is at 360 degree. So if we need to draw a full ellipse, then start angle must be 0 degree and end angle must be 360 degree. Clear? So in this way, using 6 arguments, we can draw a ellipse. Let us move on to an example. Ellipse 150 means the ellipse is centered at this point. 360 indicates this ellipse is a complete ellipse which begins at 0 degree and ends at 360 degrees. It is having an x radius of 50 and y radius of 10. So in this way, we can easily specify an ellipse. Let us move on to the next function, which is arc function. Arc function, similar to ellipse, it is having 5 arguments. First 2 arguments are x and y, corresponds to the center of arc function. Next is the start angle of the arc and end angle of the arc. It works the same way as I demonstrated here in this ellipse case. And the last is radius. Remember, arc has only one radius. Suppose I want to draw an arc like this, then I must specify the center of the arc like this arc 150. That means I am going to draw an arc which is centered at 150. This arc must start at 0 degree but end at 180 degree. So I am going to specify the start angle at 0 degree and end angle as 180. Radius is a small radius 10. What if I want an arc like this? This is the arc I want. Then I will write arc 150 started at this position. That means I can say started at 270 and ended at this position, that is this. So this is the arc I want. So I can say start angle as 270 and end angle as 180. Radius is of my choice. I can give any radius. So in this way, we can use arc and ellipse functions to draw different primitive shapes. Moving on to next function, they are delay function and sleep function. The purpose of both these functions, delay and sleep, are same. That is, if I want to stop the execution for a few seconds, if I want to stop the execution for a few seconds, I can use these functions. Either I can use the delay function or I can use the sleep function. If I am using the sleep function, the argument will be in seconds. But if I am using delay function, the argument will be in milliseconds. Suppose I want to stop the execution for 5 seconds. Then I will give sleep 5. This indicates stop the execution for 5 seconds. Instead of sleep, if I am going to use delay function, then I will give delay 5000. What does it mean? We know that 1 second is equal to 1000 milliseconds, and therefore 5 seconds is equal to 5000 milliseconds. So if I want to stop the execution for 5 seconds, I must give it as 5000 because delay function accepts arguments only in milliseconds and sleep function accepts argument in seconds. So to stop execution for 5 seconds, and if I am using sleep function, I can give sleep 5. But if I am using a delay function and I want to stop the execution for 5 seconds, I must give delay 5000. Okay. Moving on to next function, out text. Just as we used printf function to display messages on the screen, out text function can also be used to display messages on the screen. The syntax is simple. Out text, you can specify the message within the double quotes like this: out text, welcome you all. But if I am using out text function, this message will be displayed in the current cursor position. What if I want to display message at a particular position? Then I have to use some other function like this: out text xy. Out text xy has 3 arguments: x, y and a message. Let us move on to an example. Out text xy 100, 100, that is x is 100, y is 100 and message is welcome. This indicates that I want to display this message at position 100, 100. So what is the difference between these two functions? The first function just displays the message on the current cursor position, but out text xy function displays the message where you want it to be displayed. So you can specify the position on the screen where the message is displayed. Clear? So this is the difference between these two functions. Out text xy displays the message on the position which you have specified it on the function. Clear? Moving on to next function, set text style. Set text style is a function which is used to display the text message in different styles. Has 3 arguments: font, direction and size. Size specifies the size of the text. When you increase the size value, the size of the text enlarges, and when you decrease the value in the size argument, the size of the text reduces. So depending on the value specified in the third argument, the size of the text either enlarges or decreases. Second argument is direction. There are only 2 directions: horizontal direction and vertical direction. If you want to display the text in a horizontal style, then give it as a 0. Second argument must be 0. But if you want to specify or display the text in a vertical direction, then the argument must be 1. So direction has only 2 values. It can either be 0 or 1. If the direction is 0, then message will be displayed in a horizontal style. If the direction is specified as 1, message will be displayed in a vertical style. So size and direction are clear to you. Moving on to the first argument, font. First argument displays the font style. That means you can display your message in various styles. You might have heard about Times New Roman, Courier New, Monotype Cursiva. These are the different styles in which you can display your messages or text. So there are almost 5 fonts available in your computer screen. Depending on the numeric value you are specifying in the first argument, ranging from 1 to 5, you can give values from 1 to 5. If you give 1 as the font style, you will get one style. Instead of 1, if you are giving 2 as the value, you will get another style. So you can give any value that ranges between 1 and 5. Depending on the value you are specifying here, different styles can be obtained. So altogether, set text style is a function used to display text in various styles, varying directions and various size. Okay. Now this function, clear device. Suppose you want to clear your screen and make it reusable once again. To clear everything written on the screen, everything drawn on the screen, you can use this function, clear device. This function is used to clear whatever is there on the screen and to make the screen fresh once again. Now let us move on to the next function, which is set color. Let us examine how this set color function works and what is the purpose of using this color. We know that by default, when you try to draw pictures on the screen, the pictures will be displayed in white color. When you try to display messages on the screen, the default color of the message is also white. That means if no specific color is indicated, then the default color is white. So whatever pictures are drawn on the screen and whatever messages are displayed on the screen, everything will be done in white color. So if you want to draw the pictures and if you want to display the messages using different colors, you can use set color. Remember, set color has only one argument, and this argument is the color value. You can give the information in two ways. Either you can give the name of the color or you can use the code of the color. Okay, now let us check how this code works. I have used a set color function. After using this function, I used a line function. After that, I used an outTextXY function. Now, since the color specified is red, the line will be drawn using red color. Similarly, just after the line function, I have specified an outTextXY function which displays the message welcome at position 200. Remember, outTextXY displays messages at specific position on the screen. Now this message is also displayed in red color. So once a set color function is used and the color is specified, whatever functions you are going to specify, everything will be displayed in that particular color itself. Now if you want to change the color, that means if you want to display the line in red, but if you want to display the message in some other color, then you have to specify set color once again, like this. Set color, then after that line function, then before giving the outText function, you have to specify one more set color. That is, just after the line function, give a set color function and then give the outTextXY function. And the order is like this. Since the set color is red and then you have given the line function, the line will be drawn using red color. Now, just after the line function, you are giving a set color function again, and you are asking the system to change the color from red to blue. After that, you are giving a message. Now the message will be displayed in blue color. If this function is not specified by you, then the line function and the message, everything will be displayed in red color. So whenever you want to change the color, specify a separate set color. Clear? Each time you want to change the color, use this function. Otherwise, everything will be drawn using that same color itself. If you don't want to set any color, don't use this function, and all the pictures and messages will be displayed in white color itself. Now moving on to next function, which is set line style. Just as we learned set text style, this function is used to specify various styles to display a line. There are three arguments in this function. First argument is the style of the line. Second argument is the pattern, and the third argument is thickness of the line. Remember, style can be of various types: solid line, dashed line, dotted line, and dashed dotted line. Depending on the value you are giving here, you can give numeric values. You can give values from 1 to 5. Depending on what value you are giving in this position, that is first argument, various styles of line can be obtained. Second argument is pattern. Second argument should always be 1. Value of pattern should be always 1. Third argument corresponds to thickness of the line. Just as you increase the value in third argument, the line thickness will increase, and when you decrease the value, when you give smaller values in the third argument, the thickness of the line will decrease. So this function is used to display lines of various styles. Now two more functions are left. One is set fill style, another one is flood fill. Let us examine how these functions work. Suppose I want to draw a rectangle, and the rectangle is drawn using a blue color. So I am writing first set color blue. The color is set. After setting the color, I have written the function rectangle 10 10 50 50. That means now the rectangle is using blue color. Okay. Now I want to fill the interior portion of the rectangle using red color. Now to fill any region using a color, we can use these two functions. How it can be used? Set fill style has two arguments, pattern and color. This pattern has always a value 1. That means the value of pattern should be always 1. You can give any color as second argument. If I am giving set fill style 1, red, I mean fill the above region using this color. I repeat once again. Before using set fill style, it is necessary that you have to complete the picture. Once the picture is complete, you can specify set fill style. Set fill style function is used to give a color, and this color will be filled inside that particular region. Now you have clearly specified that the interior of the rectangle is to be colored using red color. Now what is the purpose of this flood fill function? You have just specified the color, but it is necessary to specify from where should we start the coloring. To specify the starting point, we use flood fill function. Flood fill function has three arguments, x, y and border. X and y specifies the interior point inside the region. Third argument specifies the color of the border, which is blue. Now how to give this interior point? Let us examine. This is the corner point, top left corner point of rectangle, and this is the bottom right corner point of the rectangle. From this it is clear that the value of x minimum is 10 and value of x maximum is 50. So the x value should lie between 10 and 50. Let it be 20, because 20 is a value that lies between 10 and 50. Similarly, y minimum is 10 and y maximum is 50. So the value of y should be between 10 and 50. Let it be 20. So 20 20 is a point which lies inside this rectangular region. So first you have to select an interior point, then you have to specify the border color. Now let us check how it works. Border color is set. You have drawn a figure. Using set fill style, you are giving instruction to fill the interior of the region using red color, and using flood fill you are giving instruction that start coloring from the position 2020 and continuously color all the pixel positions inside this region and stop whenever a blue color is found. That means flood fill functions clearly specifies us from where to start the coloring and when to stop coloring. So coloring is proceeded in all directions. Stop whenever you find a blue color. Clear? So in this way, using set fill style and flood fill, both these functions can be used together to fill a region with a color. So these are some of the functions that you can use in your graphics program to make your output look much better. Hope you all have understood everything. Thank you.